This is Deep Dive into Joy, and I'm your host, Gina Rickner.
Hey Joy listeners, it's your host Gina. Welcome to Deep Dive into Joy, where we deep dive into testimonies, journeys, or everyday life, and how we find joy through it all. Today's guest spends their days up close with some of the furriest, messiest, and most lovable creatures on the planet. They're a pet groomer, which, if you know anything about the job, you know it takes equal parts skill, patience, and a good sense of humor. Please welcome my good friend, Angie Biller. Hi, Angie. I like to start every podcast just with a fun question of what is your favorite drink?
So for me, it's always tea, whether it's hot tea, cold tea. So today, it's iced tea, of course, but I'm definitely a tea drinker. I drink at least 1-2 glasses a day, at least, and then I'm water. But today, I just have regular sweet tea.
Sounds good. I miss drinking sweet tea. Mm-hmm. So before we dive in, I met Angie through the PTO of our school district. We quickly became good friends. She has been by my side through my cancer journey and everyday life. She's not only a pet groomer, but a wife and a mom, and to top it all off, the president of the PTO, which is quite the job. Let's just say that. Okay, I have to start here. What's one of the weirdest or funniest pet grooming moments you've ever had?
So, there's so many to choose from, for sure.
I'm sure.
But probably the craziest thing is the places that you will find poop after you groom. Sometimes it's in your smock pocket. Sometimes it's just randomly on a towel. And you a lot of times don't even know how it gets there. You don't see it during the grooming process. You'll reach in your pocket and there's just a little present there for you. So that's probably...
I didn't even think about that.
And it's cats, dogs. It doesn't matter. And it just sometimes just happens.
Okay, so you work with animals all day, and that can be joyful, but I know it can also be a lot. So tell me what keeps you coming back. Like, where do you find joy in what you do?
So for me, it's the animals and their families. Many of my clients have become like family, especially since we live in a small community. I will see my clients out at baseball games or interact with them at the PTO or even nights at the school. So I think that for me is the biggest thing. It's just I get to know a lot of the animals and their families very well.
Have you always been someone who loves animals, or did that come at like over time?
So I've always loved animals. For a while, I thought I wanted to be a vet. Then I realized the bad side of the vet and, having to be there in the final moments of animals. And so that was like not really my thing. But as far as grooming, I never thought about grooming until I worked at a doggy daycare in Harrisburg. And then that kind of presented itself with, they said they would send me away for grooming school. And I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, that's cool. Do you ever have days between your job, like taking care of your family and being in the PTO, where it's hard to find joy in what do you do on those days?
Yeah, I think everyone has those days. I try to remember that I chose this career working my own business from home so I could be with my family, but there is a downside to that. So sometimes owning your own business is great, but then you don't want to let your family down, but also your clients. So you will stretch yourself really thin trying to make your clients happy, and then you disappoint your family because you're just stretched too thin.
And the PTO doesn't help that either.
No,
so then you're stretching even further.
On top of that, and then kids in sports now this year, it's been a challenge for sure.
But it's for all the right reasons, so.
Yes.
How do the pets themselves teach you about joy?
So anybody who's had animals, they know that your animals love you unconditionally. Even more so, like, I know my kids love me, but they backtalk me. They give me a hard time. At the end of the day, my animals, doesn't matter what kind of day I had, they curl up with me and they love me unconditionally. Even dogs that hate to be groomed and come into the shop, when they're done, they want affection. I have a dog that comes in now, and he used to refuse to get out of the car. He would drag his owner every which way, but in the shop, now he runs into the shop. He loves on me. He doesn't want to be there for grooming, but he
knows you're there.
He knows I'm there, and he's excited to see me, and he'd rather just get love and go home.
Yeah.
But we do the groom, obviously. So, yeah, that's some of them hate me, but they love me as a person, just hate the groomer.
Yeah. Has there been a moment with a pet that stuck with you emotionally?
I think a lot of the last grooms, when I know it's their last groom, because I do have a lot of elderly dogs, and sometimes you don't know it's their last groom. I mean, I have young dogs that are here and then gone, but when it's the old dogs, and I've seen them since they were puppies, and I'm watching the progression of them aging, and sometimes I can tell, like, this, we're getting close to last groom. That sticks with me because they become a part of my family when they've been with me since they were puppies.
Yeah, that would be hard. What's a typical day like for you, and where do you find little pockets of joy during it?
So typically during the school year, obviously, I get up, get my kids ready for school. Right now it's a little different because yay, no school. But then I try to do a few things around the house because the kids are usually out the door by like 7, and my day starts anywhere between 8 and 9, and it goes to like 5 or later. So depending on my day, how many dogs I have, I try to listen to podcasts through the day and music. I love music, and music always kind of like keeps me in a good place. Podcasts, I listen to a lot of true crime, so that sometimes puts you in a bad place.
I don't know why that's so popular.
It is, and like I can just listen to it, and then I will catch myself like bringing it up later in the day. Like Brian will say something, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't know. You just remind me of the the podcast I listened to today about death. I don't know why it reminds me of that."
I can't do the true crime. I don't know why.
I'm so.
I feel like
intrigued.
it gives me nightmares, or
It does
or
me
then I
too.
feel like paranoid all day.
Well, yeah, like we were somewhere and we were driving, and I was like, "Oh, this is where I'm going to end up in someone's freezer," because I listen to way too many podcasts about terrible things. But yes.
Oh, okay.
But then I listen to music to lighten the mood as well.
Yeah. Do you feel like animals can sense your mood, and how do they affect your own energy?
Absolutely. Like if I'm anxious, they get anxious. They will feed off of our energy. So like if I don't go in level-headed, they know it, and they present with the same kind of energy. Some days, my days would go better if I'd leave the baggage at the door. Because if I take that bag, it's like if I'm stressed with the kids, or, I'm anxious about what's coming up for the evening after work, the dogs definitely feel that. However,
That is crazy.
it is. It's so crazy. And they, like, you can tell, like, they'll have a bad day grooming then because they're anxious, and even dogs that aren't usually. But on the flip side, like if I'm having like a real emotional day, a lot of times they feed off of that as well, and they're more loving. They'll give little kisses here, and then they'll sometimes be a little calmer for me because they're like, this lady's having a rough day. She's going through it. But that they definitely feel our emotions and feed off of our emotions just as much as we do theirs.
Okay, be real with me. What is the hardest part of your job besides the pooping in your smock?
That's not even bad. Poop accidents happen all the time. It's physically demanding. I have some dogs, no matter how many times they've come to me, they know what's coming, and it's a fight the entire groom. Some days it's just exhausting and frustrating because I will physically, like, I will say to them, this isn't our first rodeo here, guys. Like, we're going to get it done. You might not like it. We'd be done by now if you would just cooperate. I get it. You don't want to be here. I don't want to be here either today. But there's just some dogs. And a lot of little dogs think that they can just keep going and going and going. Like a lot of the bigger dogs, once they realize they can sit down, I'm still going to pick them up, put them in the tub, then they kind of were like, oh, she's not going to go for this. We're just going to... But the little dogs, they're so persistent. They are just not having it.
How do you protect your peace when everything feels chaotic? That can be in your job or with school and family.
So for me, this is an area I really struggle. I am the type of person that does not like to say no. I like to do all the things. I'm slowly trying to learn that to keep my peace and my sanity, I have to prioritize what works for my family. I can't just say, yes, I can be at the school here, here, and here, and I can do all of the things, because this year especially, like I said, my kids have started sports. It's really become a challenge. Like, I cannot be everywhere. I can try and fail miserably, not show up where I'm supposed to be. So, like, I'm trying to prioritize for my sanity what my family needs and still be a huge part of the PTO and work and be at the school and be in my kids' lives with their sports. But I really struggle with trying to find the way to say no and keep my peace.
Yeah. I'm a people pleaser, so I had a hard time saying no. But with my diagnosis, I've had to step back and realize that I can't do everything.
And I remember you messaging me early on in your diagnosis and being like, you need to slow down. You saying to me, you need to slow down. You need to really focus on what matters. And I remember thinking, as you were messaging me, stuff like that, that just doesn't work. I can't. But
I know. It's easier said than done.
It is.
For sure.
And I've watched you, you've really, really stepped back and focused on what's important, your health and your family. And it can be done. It's just getting outside of my head to make myself realize that that's what needs to happen. Yeah.
That's like Mark just started back to school, so we already didn't have time together, and now it's, work and schools and then all of our schedules, but we're making it work. We gotta find balance. So outside of grooming, what is something in your everyday life that brings you joy consistently?
100% music. Even when I'm not grooming, if I'm cleaning around the house, I will pop in my earbuds and I will just listen to whatever. And I kind of listen to all genres of music, so there's not anything specific I listen to. But
so 1 minute it'll be rap, next minute it'll be country. That's how I am.
That's that. I'll be listening to some Eminem, and then we'll listen to Johnny Cash or Pentatonics, or it is all over the place. And I listen to Christmas music year round.
Do you?
I will pop it on just periodically through the year because Christmas music makes me happy.
I know, me too. I don't know if I ever have done it. I mean, I started early, October, but I don't know if I ever do it throughout the year.
I will do, I think on Pandora there's, it's either Pentatonics Christmas or something like that, and it won't just play Christmas music. It'll play some of their regular music, but then it mixes, some of their Christmas music in and other artists, and so then I kind of get, a little bit of Christmas throughout the year, but it's not, I don't sit down and listen to, 6 hours.
Yeah.
Jingle bells.
Am I? Do you think joy is something you find, something you choose, or something else entirely?
I think you have to choose it. We all go through difficult times, and we have to choose joy and to be happy in our darkness. So I think that even in the worst times in your life, you can have two different people going through the same walk of life, but one will choose joy and one won't, and you can tell the difference. I think you have to wake up and choose joy, because let's face it, there are a lot of things in life that aren't joyful, that aren't fun. Especially as we get older, we realize how much stuff in life is not fair. So I think you have to make the choice to choose joy and make your own happiness.
Yeah, and when you have kids, it feels like life goes so much faster.
It sure does.
It's crazy.
It flies.
So who inspires you to stay joyful even when life is messy?
100% my boys. They embrace my mess and my chaos and their mess and chaos. And their innocence, they still see so much good in the world, which helps me keep joyful. As they get older, I hope that they continue to find that joy like they do now, because everybody who has kids knows, you can do the simplest thing with your kid, and at the end of the day, they'll tell you it was the best day of their lives. And they'll tell you that every time after you do something, even though, a week ago they said, oh, this is the best day we've ever had. So it's the little things for them that they find joy and happiness in, and that's what gets me through the chaos and the messy and the darker parts of life.
So my son made this thing for Mother's Day. It says mom. It spells out mom, M-O-M. And he was supposed to write all his favorite things about me in each letter. And the majority of what he wrote was about me being funny and telling jokes and all this, just pretty much about me goofing around. So apparently that's what he finds most interesting about me throughout the day. So I'm just here for the jokes.
That's pretty much it. My youngest yesterday was a hot mess. He was just driving me crazy, and at one point I was like, I just need to walk away from you. And then he makes me this picture with all these hearts, and it says, I love you, Mom, and you're the best. And I'm like, because all day you drove me crazy, but now I'm your favorite.
What have animals taught you about being present?
Their lives are so short, I'm blessed to be a part of so many animals' lives. And I've lost quite a few along the way, whether it be grooming or my own personal. And realizing that every time a dog walks through the door, that could be the last experience with me they get. Whether they're young or old doesn't matter. Whether they're healthy or sick doesn't matter. But in the grand scheme of things, people get 80, 90 years of life. Like my great-grandmother lived to be 103, I think. But dogs get generally 8 to 12. If you're lucky. I have some dogs that are like 18 years old right now that are still coming in the shop. But they live with us for such a short amount of time. And I think that's what makes you realize you need to be present in the moments that you have with them, because you might not see them again. And you get a connection with them and with their families. So you might not see their family in passing, but you might not have that connection with that family anymore once their dog is gone.
Yeah. Do you know average lifespan for cats?
So cats are older.
Are they?
Usually
Okay.
cats are like 20
That's good.
years.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose my Maggie.
No, I mean, it's very rare that they don't live to their teens and into, like, we had a set of sibling cats, and our one, he passed away at like 8, but the other one's 15.
Okay.
And for the most part, I don't know why cats live so much longer, but maybe it's their 9 lives. They seem to live longer, to like usually close to 20. 18, 20 is like their average.
Okay. That's
So
good to
you got a
know.
while.
Do you ever feel like pets understand something about life that humans don't?
I do. Because they love us unconditionally, they have no expectations of us. Like, we can walk out the door and be gone 5 minutes, and when we come back, they're super, like, I can walk to the mailbox, they can see me walk into the mailbox, and when I come back through that door, it's like I've been going all day. Mm-hmm. They have no expectations of us, and they understand that, like, when we're having a bad day, while they feed off of that, they don't take it personal. Like, at the end of the day, if my husband and I are fighting, and I'm still mad at him at the end of the day, I remember everything.
Yeah, me too.
The dog and I are fighting. At the end of the day, he is curled up on my lap, and he loves me unconditionally. And I'm still not talking to my husband.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, they're just amazing.
So I heard this thing, I don't know if it's true or not, but they said it had to do something with your scent. And, like, if you leave the house and then, like, the dog knows, I forget, like, the scent, he knows the scent and, like, how long it stays in the house. And once the scent goes away, he knows had to do something about time and, like, when you're going to be back.
So that's,
like, I found that so interesting.
That's possible, because, like, I know our first dog we had, when my husband and I started dating, he would actually about 3 o'clock go sit at the door and wait, because he knew.
It's crazy. Like, they know time.
Yeah, and it very well could be a scent thing. He would know my husband lived in a small town, but, like, he would know, like, 2 blocks down the road, he could hear the car, and he'd know that was my husband, and he'd get up and he'd start getting crazy. So, like, it is amazing, like, how they keep track. Because, like I said, it doesn't matter how long you're gone, they greet you like you've been gone all day.
Yeah.
But if you are gone all day, they know when to start watching for you and when you should be coming back to them.
And I wonder if it feels like a lifetime to them, because they're just laying around all day, sleeping, doing, whatever. And it's like, I wonder how their day feels to them. Like, does it feel like it drags on and on? But who knows?
I feel like it has to, as excited as they are to see me.
Yeah, true.
That's
True.
be the worst day for them ever until I come back. But maybe not.
Do you have any advice you give people about finding joy from animals, even if they don't have a pet?
So every animal, even a difficult animal you bring into your house, it gives you something special in your life. Like, you might have a dog that doesn't get along with other dogs or with people, and you have to work with it and do trainers, and it's frustrating. But we had 4 dogs this time last year, and our oldest dog, we had to put him down. And even though I still have 3 other dogs, there's little things in my house that are so quiet. And that's why, like, you don't realize how quiet your house is until one of them's gone. And you would think, well, you still have 3 dogs. It's got to be loud. It is. But I can sit down at night now and watch TV, and nobody makes a sound, whereas my old man dog, barked at everything that went across the TV. Like a horse, a bear, it didn't matter if it moved and it looked like an animal. He lost his mind. And all the other dogs would bark with him. They didn't know what they were barking at.
Yeah.
They just knew he was barking. So now nobody barks. Everybody sleeps. And it's so quiet. And they just enrich your life so much. And at the time, those things were not enriching at all. I was like, oh, buddy, like, you got to stop barking. But now it's those little things. They just bring you so much joy when you're having a bad day. They snuggle up with you. When I was pregnant, my old man dog always laid on my belly.
That's cool too.
Yeah, and like he always felt like the baby's kicking and like that. They just have, you get such a special connection that only those animals can bring you.
Yeah. So
I think everybody should have some kind of pet.
No snakes though.
No kid wants a snake.
Ew, no. If you could groom any fictional animal, who would it be?
So, this is weird.
I know. I thought it'd be a fun question.
I love otters. They're mean little nasty feral little things. But I would groom an otter.
Are they mean?
Oh, they attack each other all the time. Yeah,
I didn't know they were mean. I want to hold one.
Me too. I never realized they were mean. And like, so we went to the zoo.
They look so cuddly.
Yes. And I saw two of them fight, and I was like, oh man. And Brian's like, you know they're mean, right? Like to each other. I'm like, no. He said it's like groundhogs and that. You know, they fight with each other, but they're so cute. So like, I would love to. There is a place, Delaware, Maryland, somewhere. You can actually go and swim with them. They have like pools.
That would be cool.
Pools. And I'm like, my luck.
We should do that.
I get the one that's me.
Yeah. We'd have scratches all over us.
And they'd be like, what happened? Just fought with an otter.
Yeah.
No big deal. But that's what I would probably, or like a big bear. I would love to snuggle like a big bear, but that's
not gonna happen.
Asking for death. So
wait, do zoos have groomers? I know that's not one of my questions, but
so I don't know. I know that at
or is it just like just anybody that goes? I wonder if it's that'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the zookeepers have to do different enrichment with animals. So I don't know, because like I know certain animals, monkeys and that, they groom themselves, but like the wolves and those pack kind of animals, I don't know if they go in and do that or if it's just a free for all.
That'd be interesting to know. Okay, what would your dream grooming studio look like if money wasn't an option?
I would have employees.
Yeah.
So
secretary?
A little less hands-on. Definitely a secretary. Yes. In my career, our bodies give out long before we're ready to retire. I love having my little shop, but it would be nice to have some coworkers to talk to. It's kind of lonely down there. And someone to help carry the load. There's the downside to that you have to have reliable people to help carry the load.
True. Or
you're just doubling your load. But just having a little bit bigger of a shop where I could have employees and have some extra hands so that, some of the bigger, more difficult dogs wouldn't necessarily have to be turned away. There'd be more hands to help. Because a lot of times if I have a big dog that's like refusing to do something, if I'm there by myself, we're not getting it done.
Yeah.
Like if Brian's there, Brian has come down and helped me get dogs in the tub and help me do different things. But, if it becomes a risk for one person to handle, then they have to go somewhere where there's more people in a shop, obviously.
Yeah.
So really, nothing big and fancy.
So no, like cold tools or anything? Automatic blow dryer?
I mean, I have one of those.
How do you?
Updated tools.
I was just picturing you with a blow dryer.
No, I have like a stand dryer, and then I have like a high velocity dryer that if I put on your face will blow your lips all over the place. I have like a clipper vac that hooks up to my clippers that sucks all the hair up in.
Oh, that's cool.
There is, groomers get what they call groomer's lung because we ingest all those hair pieces and they get stuck in our lungs and they never go anywhere. So then we end up with like COPD type
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
issues and that. Yeah, and because we don't generally wear masks. I mean, during COVID, we did, but a lot of groomers don't because it's hot and you're miserable. And I get that it's for our protection, but when you breathe in those little hair slithers, they just stick into your body and they just become part of you for the most part. So a lot of people have upper respiratory issues on top of the fact that, we have back issues and leg issues and all that from all the physical aspect of the labor.
Wow. Have you ever gone through a season where you lost joy, and how did you find it again?
I think everybody has. I definitely have. I think the main thing is you need to focus on what's important to your life, in that moment. Whether that's the people in your life, your job, whatever it is, focus on that and bring that joy back. Because we all go through tough times. We all have times when we lose our joy and think, this is the worst it could get. And we just have to make the things in our life that we want to still be in our life when we come out of that season to be a priority. Like I said, whether that's your family, your job, where you're living, you just have to sit down and say, these are our priorities and this is what we want in life, and bring the joy back.
Yeah, it's a good perspective. Has working with animals changed how you approach relationships with people?
Maybe. So animals are great therapists. They listen and they do not judge. They don't say anything back. They might side-eye you, but like it's not because of what you're saying.
Oh, you should do that video, the We Listen and Do Not Judge, with the animal.
With the animals.
I bet that would go viral.
Yeah, because they don't judge
that
you
would
at
be
all.
good.
I'm a very social person, but I have a small inner circle. I will talk to anybody, but I keep my circle small. Pets don't keep their circle small. Anybody that comes into your house or you interact with, they want to be part of your life. They are a great judge of character. They always say, there's a saying, if my dog doesn't like you, I don't either.
Yeah.
Because dogs will definitely, there are just certain things they pick up on with certain people that, like, if there's a person that makes you uncomfortable, a lot of times your dog reacts to that person the same way. Even if you're not in the room, like, they're not feeding off of you, but, like, dogs are a good judge of character. So, like, while they're very social, they still can be standoffish. Certain breeds are more standoffish than others just because of their nature. But, I mean, I guess they kind of, in a way, influence how I deal with people in that regard, because I can bounce ideas off of them. And like I said, they don't say anything back. They don't
and you're always right.
Absolutely.
What's something that completely surprised you about being a pet groomer?
That people think I play with pets all day. I once had a client that she had recently retired, and I said, oh, I can't wait till I can retire. And she's like, why would you want to retire? You have the best job. And, like, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with my job, but it's demanding and overwhelming and frustrating, just like every job.
Mm-hmm. And
I know people think that Fluffy at home is the best dog, and when you bring him to the grooming shop, it's the best dog. 75% of dogs that come to me don't want to be there.
Yeah.
They don't want to be away from their family. They're not real fond of me, scrubbing them up and down and blow drying their faces off. Mm-hmm. Like, they would be much happier in home. It's a necessary, it has to be done, but it is a struggle. It's a daily struggle, just like any job. There are always parts about your job you love, and always parts about your job you're like, this is not my favorite part. Wish this wasn't part of it. Wish this was someone else's job, like my secretary.
Yeah.
Like, something like that.
That's why everyone thinks just because I work from home, it's like, oh, I wish I could do that, or it's so joyful, and I'm like, no, it's like when you're working from home, it's still like you have to work like you're at the office. You can't just be up doing whatever you want. But
Brian will say,
I feel like you find that in every job.
You do, and Brian
doesn't matter.
Both work from home, so like I'll throw a load of laundry in, and I'll be dragging it upstairs, and I'll say something to him, and he's like, I don't have time for that, but you do, and I'm like, not really.
Yeah,
we both work from home. We both have a set schedule. I don't have time. I just take a few extra seconds and do it because it needs done, not because I have the time for it.
If you weren't doing this, what do you think you'd be doing in life?
Who knows? Honestly, probably an office job. I'd be a secretary. Doing somebody else's job. No, I always thought I would do an office job. I always thought I would be like a secretary or something with numbers, like in accounting. So I honestly think I'd probably work at the school. Yeah. Let's be honest. That's where I'd be.
I'm sure they have an open spot for you too.
I'm sure they do.
Did you ever have a dog fall asleep on you mid-groom, or one that just completely freaked out or something random?
So a lot of older dogs, just because it's a lot for them, older dogs and puppies will kind of relax, close their eyes, kind of just like, not necessarily go to full sleep. They'll still be standing and everything, but so it's not very uncommon with older dogs and like puppies. Freakouts, anything, honestly, can trigger it. A dog that's fine with something this time might not be next time. Like, I have a dog that any groomer he's went to hates drying. He tries to literally scale the walls. Like, he's like 60 pounds. He's a good sized dog, and he screams. It sounds like death is happening. And we have this cloth that you put over their ears. It's called a happy hoodie, and it just pushes their ears down, closes off, kind of like headphones, just closes off their ears. 100 times better now. I just put it on one day. I was like, let's try it. They don't usually like it. It looks like a turtleneck, so they don't like it going on their face. And he's so much better now. And I think it was just the sound was scaring him.
That's cool.
But like when his mom brought him to me, she's like, he's pretty dramatic. And I'm like, okay. I was not prepared. Like when he started trying to climb up the walls vertically like Spider-Man, I was like, that's
or screaming like those screaming goats.
And Brian will come downstairs and he's like, just checking.
What is happening?
Okay. I'm like, yeah, we're fine. There's nothing wrong here. Like, the dog's standing normal, just sounding like I'm killing it. So there are, and like some dogs, like I said, some things won't freak them out at all. And then one day they'll just decide they don't like it anymore. And then they lose their minds. And I have been grooming them for 6-7 years and they've been fine. And then they're like, no, we don't like that.
Yeah.
They're like kids. I don't want that for dinner tonight. I don't like it.
But they ate it the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
If animals could talk, what breed would be the sassiest, do you think?
My corgi's 100%.
Corgi?
Oh, they're so mouthy.
And what about the kindest?
Believe it or not, probably Great Danes, as big as they are.
Really?
But they are just such gentle giants. They don't usually fight. They don't usually cry. They're just big and they're just there. They're probably
They're pretty dogs. What about the most dramatic?
Huskies.
Oh, yeah, they do. I love those videos. They're my favorite.
I have huskies. I always say they're singing me the song with their people because they will cry in the tub. They will cry in the dryer. Like, everything is very dramatic to them, so it's 100% husky.
I think you need to start recording some of those for me. That way I can have a laugh during the day.
I do have some.
That'd be so funny. And
then I'll have to forward you.
What is your most used phrase in the studio? And be honest.
For the love. I don't want to be here either. I will often say, you didn't think you were going to make it, did you?
Yeah.
Worst day of your life. But yeah, those are like, and I actually have clients that'll come in and like when I'm finished grooming, I'll take the dog out and they're like, was that the worst day of your life? Because I say it so much that they pick up on it now. But probably for the love. Like anything they do wrong, I'm like, for the love, why are we doing this today? Like, what is happening?
Do you feel yourself building relationships with the owners too? I guess we kind of already went over this, but not just with the pets.
We did. Yes. Like oftentimes, they trust me with their babies because a lot of my owners, their animals are their babies. Mm-hmm. And I'm usually, not always, but one of the first things that notice something different in their body, whether it's a lump, a bump, something swollen, something seems off. Ear infections, anything like that. A lot of times the owners, even though you pet your animal every night, you're not rubbing it down. You're not doing that. So a lot of times I'm one of the first ones to notice that. A lot of times when they come in, they'll say, I noticed this lump. Can you check it out? Or, and I then give them feedback. I've had several dogs that have had tumors that had to be removed that were cancerous that were because I found them. The owner didn't know them. Because a lot of times a tumor will grow overnight. Like it'll start out small and then some dogs come to me every 6 weeks, they won't have anything, and 6 weeks later they have a mass. So I think in that regard, yes. And also when clients come in, because I'm a social person, they'll tell me about their families. Some of our kids play sports together. So I find out about their lives and their pets and their jobs. And so I think that, yes, I do build a relationship. Not with all of them. Some people don't like to talk, and that's okay. Yeah. I'm a talkative person, so I can tell you anything.
Do you think pets go to heaven?
I do. I don't. They have to. Mm-hmm. There's no way that something is selfless and loving and just naturally good could not. Like, if they don't, then let's be honest, there's no hope for any of us.
Yeah.
Because, like, they give it all, so they have to.
If you could tell your younger self something today, what would that be?
Not to stress so much. Everything will work out. You got it. Just don't worry. I think I worry so much about stuff that has happened and so much about what's to come that I think you miss a lot of in the moment stuff because you're too worried about everything. And I struggle with that. Like, I worry about stuff that happened 20 years ago. Nobody cares.
Same. But
I do.
Yeah.
It'll keep me up at night. Like, I'll lay in bed and be like, oh man, if only that would have been different.
Yeah.
It's 20 years ago. Nobody cares. You're the only one that still thinks about it.
Yeah, I have a lot of problems with stress. What legacy would you like to leave behind, whether through pet grooming, your job, or just everyday life?
I just want my kids to look back and say they had a good childhood. I know every day that I mess things up. I'm not the perfect parent, but I want them to tell their kids stories about the fun things they did, how they saw, even though I had a million things going on, I still had time for them. We still did things. I don't want them to carry that on with their kids too, because I think we're all so rushed and so busy that we lose sight of that we have such a short time with them. And then they're gone. And yeah, I mean, sure, they'll come home for holidays or whatever, but you have such a short time with them when they're in that stage where their world revolves around you. Like, you just have that little bit of time. And I want them to look back and say, you know what? Everything wasn't perfect, but it was great. We had a great childhood. They did everything they could. We didn't have everything, but it was good. And that's what I want them to then give to their kids.
Yeah, your presence is everything to them. That's the saying, you only have 18 summers with your kids. It really gets to me. Chokes me up.
Well, and
especially now that Caitlin's going to be a senior.
I was just going to say,
crazy.
You don't hear that until, like, well, my oldest obviously isn't as old as your oldest, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm already halfway through those 18 summers.
Yeah.
And he's already getting to the point where in a couple more years he's going to choose his friends over family life. He's going to be like, no, Mom, I don't want to go camping with you.
Yeah.
Like, that does not sound like fun.
I always
boring.
dreamed of my house being the house that all the kids would want to come and hang out to, and it didn't turn out that way. But
that's not going to be in my house either.
Yeah. Okay, those were all great answers. It's a great reminder that even when life gets messy, and I imagine literally gets messy in your job, joy can still show up in small, unexpected ways. Since I do incorporate what Jesus says, I took the time to see what the Bible says about animals, and I had to look up Genesis 1:24 through 25, and it says, God said here that, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Animals were made with intention, variety, and value, just like humans. So we pause this episode to bring to you PEMF by 4M. Feel better naturally for you and your pets. PEMF Therapy by Jordan Round. Looking for a gentle, non-invasive way to support healing naturally? Whether you're recovering from injury, managing chronic discomfort, or simply want to feel your best, PEMF therapy may be the boost your body and your pet needs. Jordan Round is a compassionate, trained PEMF therapist with passion for helping people and animals thrive. With a deep understanding of how energy supports wellness, Jordan offers personalized sessions tailored to your unique needs or those of your furry friend. PEMF for animals is perfect for aging pets, performance animals, or those recovering from surgery or injury. Watch your pets relax and bounce back naturally. PEMF for humans supports relief from joint and muscle pain, fatigue, anxiety and depression, sleep issues, and more. I used PEMF while recovering from radiation, and it helped heal my wound faster. Jordan is serving the surrounding areas. You can follow her Facebook at PEMF Therapy by 4M. You can also call her at 814-553-9928. And she has an email at jround15@live.com. If you mention my name, Gina, you will receive $5 off your first session. Feel the difference because you and your pet deserve to feel good. Okay, so we're going to have a little fun and do some rapid fire. Are you ready?
Yippers.
Okay. A smell that instantly makes you happy.
Asphalt in the sun, like in the summer when they're paving the road, because my dad drove
I was
an
going to say,
asphalt
I hope
truck.
there's a good reason.
Yeah, he drove an asphalt truck like my entire life, so that smell reminds me of him.
Okay. I get it then.
I know, it's weird.
Favorite grooming tool you swear by?
Good dryers. High velocity dryers make all the difference in the world. When you're trying to dry a big fluffy dog, you need a high velocity dryer, not your little hair dryer you use on yourself.
Wait, have you ever used that on yourself?
Yes. It blows the hair. Like when I'm done for the day, I'll blow all the hair off of my head and everything with the high velocity. And if hair's in my face, I'll blow it. And I should probably record it because it blows your eyes and your mouth and everything.
That'd be funny.
Crazy.
Best snack to eat between appointments?
Anything I can get in my mouth. Chips and chocolate kind of girl. I don't really have a lot of time to run and I try to bring food down with me in the morning for in between appointments, but it's usually junk food, whatever I can grab quick.
Your joy anthem, a song that always lifts your mood.
So this is tough for me because I'm a music girl.
I know, I am too.
So one of my favorite songs is by Thomas Rhett, and it's What's Your Country Song? And I think the reason I like it is because it incorporates so many other country songs. So when I hear it, I think of all those other songs. But I really like Eminem, and I love the Rascal Flatts, and I like old Dolly Parton. So I just really anything can put me in a good mood. Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite dog breed to groom?
Probably Border Collies or Aussies. I'm a herding dog kind of girl, and I just love a little fluffy butt.
And what's your least favorite?
Well, most groomers would say doodles. I am not a huge doodle fan just because they're a little crazy. But for me personally, Cocker Spaniels, Springer Spaniels, just because they take forever to dry. And they have skin issues usually, so they're usually a little smelly.
Aww.
So they're my least favorite to groom.
And what is your most dramatic dog behavior you've seen?
Little dogs trying to alligator roll off of a table. So just picture Steve Irwin trying to get on top of gator and it rolls. And you have a little Yorkie just doing that on the table to get away from you. That's the most dramatic thing ever.
Okay, that was fun. I end every podcast with your favorite Bible verse. Do you have one, Angie?
So instead of a Bible verse, I went a little different.
That's fine.
So my Grandma Lewis, which was my dad's mom, she read her Bible every night before bed. When she got up in the morning, she read her Bible. But something that I remember vividly, she always said, "If the good Lord willing." Mm-hmm. So it was the answer to a question. It was just a statement. But if she said, "The good Lord willing, tomorrow I'm going to do this," or if you'd say, "Are you coming over for dinner tomorrow night?" If the good Lord a willing. And that really stuck with me more than any Bible verse growing up, because it just makes you realize everything is on His time. Mm-hmm. We're here walking through life, but everything is on His time. So if it's if the good Lord willing, then we'll do that. But if not, then we won't. So that stuck with me more than any Bible verse growing up with either of my grandparents.
That's a good view on life. Okay, Angie, thanks so much for being here. This episode was fun and a lighthearted one. I enjoyed it so much, and this was awesome for me. I think a lot of people listening will walk away with a smile. Where can people find you or your grooming business?
So I have a Facebook page. It is Perfect Tails Grooming. You can find me on Facebook. Angie at perfecttails.net is my email. Those are the easiest ways to reach me, or my phone number, 814-768-8444. Messaging me there is the easiest, because a lot of times when I'm in the shop, I can't answer the phone because you can't hear me anyway. Yeah. But those are the easiest places to reach me.
Okay, Joy listeners, if you could please just do me a favor and share the show, and also leave me a review. You can also like the show and hit follow. That just updates you whenever new episodes come out. You can also subscribe to the podcast. This helps just boost the show across all the podcast platforms for me. But as always, go out and find the joy today. Bye, friends.